Hello everyone, today I wanted to make a video showcasing this PowerShell backdoor generator I made. This tool is used to export either standard backdoors or backdoors you can execute using the FlipperZero or Hak5 USB Rubber Ducky. So we have the standard backdoor and you can just run listen.py with no arguments and you'll be able to create a backdoor and it'll bind it to your local IP address. Otherwise, if let's say you wanted to do it on the FlipperZero, you can pass -flipper and then the name of the text file. So in this case, I'm just going to do PowerShell backdoor, and then payload execute. So there's two payloads here so far. There's execute and then there's bind and execute. Execute, it just does what it says. It executes the payload and that's it, nothing else. Bind and execute, it moves the payload to their temp directory. It binds the backup to startup, and then it executes. This does require admin permission because we are going to be setting a startup action, and we are going to be doing some editing things in the regex. Not in the regex, in the registry. So that's why admin is required. And then for the Ducky, you can just pass -Ducky, and an inject.bin will be created. You can just do these payloads once again, but you don't need to specify anything after Ducky. To download the repository, you can just do git clone, and then you just want to paste the link. Once that's done, you can just do cd PowerShell backdoor generator, and you can see that there's a file in here called listen.py. So you can run that by doing python listen.py. And in this case, I want to show the help menu real quick. So I'm just going to do -h. So there's a couple of different options down here. You have the -I for IP address, this -P for port. These two are for the actual backdoor connection. So when you're running the commands, this is going to be what port it connects to and what IP address it connects to. Down here, you can see this server port. So whenever you use the Ducky or Flipper option, what's going to happen is it's going to host this directory as an HTTP server. So it's going to host this directory, and as soon as you run the Flipper script, it's going to connect to your computer over HTTP. It's going to grab the backdoor and it's going to execute it, and then it's going to stop the HTTP server. So the reason why we do this is if we didn't do this, it would have to type out the whole payload script, and that's just extra time towards our the execution time. We want this to be as quick and as fast as possible. So it's just like a simple 1 or 2 line situation. If you're doing the bind and execute, it's going to be a little bit longer because it has a little bit more lines to type through. So that's why we do that. And there's some other options down here for random. This randomizes the backdoor's name, out for specifying it, and delay. So when you plug it in, there's going to be a delay of 100 milliseconds. And let's say you want to change this for whatever reason, you can just change it there. So now I'm going to show you how to generate a backdoor specifically for the Ducky. So I'm going to clear the screen real quick. So I'm going to do python listen.py, and then I'm going to do -Ducky, and then -payload, and then in my case I'm just going to do execute right now. So this is going to create a Ducky payload that just executes the the PowerShell backdoor. It created the HTTP server and encoded the payload, and now it's actually starting the backdoor listener. So let's go to our directory here, and you can see there's an inject.bin created. So now you guys are going to plug in your Ducky. So you want to grab your USB Rubber Ducky, and you can see on the back here there's this little button at the bottom, and when you hold this button, this is what actually disarms it. So you want to hold it, and then you want the button facing down. Then you just want to plug it into your computer here, and you can see it starts blinking green, so that means it's good and you can access it. So once this is in, you just want to paste this inject.bin file into this USB Rubber Ducky. So now I have this test computer here where I'm just going to plug this USB in. So over here I have my PowerShell backdoor session that's running. You can see the listener's up and it's waiting for a connection, and now I'm just going to plug this USB in. So over here I'm going to plug this in, and then you can see it opens up the script there, and then it's gone. And if we look back on my computer, you can see I have a remote connection into this computer. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to switch back into my computer view so we can start messing around with this. Alright, so now that I'm on my computer, I'm going to use print_help, and this is going to print all the custom options that I have set up. Most of these are just PowerShell command wrappers, so like git antivirus, This is a PowerShell call, and it spits out some nice information. So the antivirus is enabled, it's tamper protected, and the signature version is this, right? So we can also do git OS, and this is going to get any information on the operating system that might be useful. Something cool we can do is also play sounds. So you have to do play WAV, and then you want the URL of the WAV. It needs to end in that .wav just like this, and then you want the duration of seconds. So the reason that we're doing this is when we play the WAV, it's going to store it temporarily in the temp directory, and then once it's done playing, it's going to just delete the file. So if we just copy this command here, to generate a backdoor for the Flipper, we can do Python listen.py, then we do --flipper, and then the name of the file you want to create. So I'm just going to do YouTube test, and then the payload. So payload bind and execute, which is going to bind it to startup and then execute it right after. So I'm going to press enter, and it started. So now you want to open the Q Flipper software. And then once it's in here, you want to click this little file manager icon, go to SD card, bad USB. Then I'm going to move this over. And then I'm going to unplug my Flipper. All right, so once you're ready, you want to go to your bad USB section. You want to go to the file we created, and then you want to do run an app. So once you get a screen like this and you're ready, go ahead and click run. It's opening an admin window, and then it's going to start downloading the client. Now it's binding it to startup, and then it's gone. And if we look up here, you can see that we have a terminal. But I'm also going to go down here and I'm going to restart it. So restart. All right, so now I'm going to log in again. There's the PowerShell window. And then if we go back up here, you can see that it refreshed and we still have access. So I can do ls. This will get me all the files. And we still have persistent access. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any questions, please let me know.